Hello, today we're going to be knitting and I'm going to show you how to do the stockinette stitch without having to turn your work. So instead of doing the purls on the back, we're going to be knitting backwards. And I'll show you how this is done. First of all, the stockinette stitch, you have knits on the front, a knit stitch on the front, which is known as the right side of the work. And then you have the purl stitches on the back, which are known as the wrong side of the work. And usually you would knit across and then you would turn your work and then purl across. But for this tutorial, we're not going to have to turn our work, and instead of doing purls across, we're going to be knitting backwards. So first, you will have to knit your row. So go ahead and knit your stitches across. And I'm going to do my best to stay in frame for the camera, but it's kind of low to my table. So you'll have to forgive me if the angle is somewhat awkward, but I will try to show you each and every stitch when we're going backwards. Okay? So for this tutorial I have 10 stitches and I'm just knitting my 10th stitch, and I have just knitted a row. Normally this is where you would turn your work and do your row of purls, but instead of turning, I'm just going to have that working strand right here on my left hand, and with my left needle I'm going to pick up the loop we just finished knitting, and I'm going to pick up the back strand of the work, and then I'm going to yarn over from back to front, and I'm going to pull that through the loop to the front and then slide off the old loop. Now that's how you knit backwards. So we're going to pick up the next loop, the back strand. You're going to yarn over from back to front. You're going to pull that through the loop and then slide the old loop off of your right needle. So pick up the next loop, yarn over from back to front, pull that through the loop to the front of the work, slide the old loop off of your right needle. And you just keep doing that. This is how you knit backwards, and you don't have to turn your work. Knitting backwards is effectively doing a purl on the back side of your work while keeping the front side as a knit. So this is great for when you're doing the stockinette stitch and you don't like to have to keep turning your work. So you pick up your next stitch, yarn over from back to front, pull through to the front and slide it off of your right needle. Pick up that loop, yarn over, pull through, then slide it off of your right needle. Pick up that next loop, yarn over, pull through, then you can slide it off of your right needle. Pick up the next loop, yarn over, pull through, slide off the right needle, and last, yarn over, pull through. So we have just done a row of knitting, and then we knitted backwards to get back to the other side, and now we would knit again. And that's how you do the stockinette knit stitch, where it's knit on one side, purl on the other, without having to turn your work.